You all have to be witness to the apparatus that Mike has for his computer. Because he dropped too many air conditioners on it.
This one I stepped on.
Turns out too many is one air conditioner. So instead of getting a new laptop, he was like, what am I going to do? I need to get a new laptop. I go, why don't you just get a new screen for it? And so you can't see it's off camera, but his laptop is over here on the table. And also now for some reason when it's idling, it rotates through computer primary colors like a screensaver. There's been some activity this week. You know where there hasn't been activity? Except for today, Thursday, April 10th? Part of theproblem.com. Because Dave's been, he's been busy. He's been in Nashville, and then he was in Austin. Mans did 2 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience in like 2 weeks. I feel like that's a lot. What are we waiting for, Mike? What are you doing in there? I thought you were doing a bit. You are doing a bit. You're being annoying on purpose. You're not a good actor. Also, your phone's over here. I'm not going to proceed with the episode until you talk.
Sorry. I'll stop.
What are you actually doing?
I just want to see when the hot sauce thing.
Then why don't you just tell me to not start the episode yet?
I'm ready.
Okay, you've said that about 80 times. I don't like yelling at you on camera because then they're going to think that I'm abusing you.
What?
They're also going to think for incorrect...
I hope that they think that so they don't learn the truth about how it's the opposite.
Can you imagine this guy abusing me?
You don't need no alibi, you.
I feel like people see us fight now and they go, oh, it's because they're dating, whereas in reality we used to fight a lot more before we started dating.
We should call the show Fight Now.
Fight Now! Mike got me this iced tea as a tribute. Should I talk about the lady that scammed me where I was a sucker yesterday?
Natalie got.
Nat got. I got so bad. Technically, This is relevant to GaS Digital content wrap-up for the week because I talked about it on the exclusive episode of Madhouse. Hold on.
And this is an OTG listener that did this to you.
Probably. So I'll keep it really short. I literally came in straight from this happening to me and then sat in the booth while they were recording the exclusive of Madhouse. And they looked like they were pressed for something to talk about. So I was like, all right, I'll go into my spiel. But I had just come, I hardly put my shit down after it happened. So I'll say it a little more organized. Yesterday I had parked my car. I went to the post office. I went, and on the way back to the car, realizing that I had left my wallet in my car, I passed the same homeless guy twice sitting outside of a deli. And I went, you know what? I have $1 in my wallet. I never have cash on me. I'll give him $1. And so I get my wallet. I get the $1 in my pocket, in my hand, and I give this guy the $1 when I go back over there. But I didn't need to go back. He was very appreciative of this $1. I'm sure people probably give him change mostly. And I went, well, to make it seem like I had a reason to be over here, I'll go in this deli. And I got myself one of these. I love these. I'm very loyal to these, and Mike gets them for me a lot. And while I was in there, a lady came up to me and was like, hey, sorry to bother you. Can you help me out? And I go, yeah, sure. And I'm pretty sure, I don't quite hear what she said, but I thought she said cigarettes. And I went, it's kind of a lot. Cigarettes aren't cheap, but yeah, I'll get you a pack of cigarettes or whatever. Yeah, sure. She said, and a lighter. I go, yeah, and a lighter. And she's like, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sorry to bother you. And then I go up to pay for my iced tea, and I go, yeah, put her stuff on mine. She has 2 packs of cigarettes.
Your mom lets you get 2 cigarettes?
I hope that lasted her a long time, because I can't imagine a lot of people are putting out $40 worth of cigarettes.
I think I have 2 slices.
I've never once bought a cigarette in my life.
That's greedy.
And 2 is greedy, is it not? That's $40 worth of cigarettes.
Egregious.
It's egregious. It is egregious. And it was not until I got up there and when I probably should check how much this is. I probably should check. But I can't now be like, wait, actually take one of those packs of cigarettes out. Like,
how did this work? Because every deli I go into, it's behind the counter.
She was up there. It was behind the counter. She must have signaled to him to get 2 while I was picking out my iced tea. She went up to me in the drink section and said, hey, can you get something for me? And I said, yeah.
So the guy behind the counter is in on this scam too. There's a conspiracy here.
He looked like he was ready to give me an out. But I went, nah, whatever, it's fine. Put it on mine. I don't care. I'm not going to ask. And I'm hoping that just not asking and giving freely has upped my karma for the year. Because that was not cheap. And then I felt bad for the guy that I gave $1 to. It's like this one guy got $1 out of me and this lady got $40. I don't know how much cigarettes are where you guys live, but in New York City, they're not cheap.
You got to understand that you're trying to balance out the pay disparity in the men versus women homeless industry.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's
There's
the way
a glass ceiling and you're breaking it within the
I think it's the opposite. I think the way that women at large don't make as much money as men, I think people are way nicer to homeless women than they are to homeless men. They're like a lot softer on them.
I would trust a homeless man more, because if a homeless woman came up to me, I'd be like, this is a trap. She's being...
Well, like she's underage or she's a prostitute?
No, like she's the setup for a guy who's going to rob me.
Oh.
Like
the way that you see the world is so strange to me sometimes. Like you being like, I would never go back to a chick's house because I'm afraid she's going to rob me. Like, I think you've been robbed too many. I think you have trauma from being robbed. Because you bring it up a lot, and I'm like, I've never once thought about being robbed. I've definitely thought about being murdered. You don't think anyone's going to murder you.
No,
but you definitely think people are going to try to steal your shit. You carry a lot of possessions around with you.
As a woman, you don't understand the concern there is of being scammed by a woman that has a man who's going to like take advantage of you. They actually talked about this.
You're right, I don't, because I have slightly bigger things to worry about.
They talked about this on TTI.
This week?
Well, Sam Tripoli.
Nice. I only caught the end of that. I was sad I didn't catch the beginning of it.
Sam was...
we haven't introduced the show yet.
Okay, well, I guess I won't wrap it up. I guess I won't recap things then. This isn't a recap show. This isn't a recap show, and you're not Natalie, and I'm not Blind Mike, and this definitely isn't Gas Digital Now.
Definitely not. This is Disgusting Hawk.
It's disgusting the way you hawk
Tua.
all this fucking horse shit at me.
It's true. Thank you for coming to our show. We wrap up everything that happened on the Gas Digital Network this week, such as The Thing Is Ding with Sam Tripoli on it this week, which was a remote episode, which I thought was interesting when I hopped in. And what did they talk about?
The story I was getting to was Sam Tripoli was at a bar and met 3 women, and they seemed into him, so he brought them back to his place, and he was like, I'm going for high scores tonight. And then as he was hooking up with the one lady, the 2 other women there just cleaned his house out.
I will say...
And you just don't think about that because you're not a horny male.
There is an amount of hubris to being like, these 3 chicks want to fuck me right now. Is that not the case? It's like...
Yeah, but even in that scenario, even if that's not the case, there's, if only one of them is interested in you, but she's like, my 2 friends have to come along just to make sure that I'm safe, I'm still going to put on Family Guy for them and then hook up with the one chick.
That's not a bad point. Is that what happened to him?
No, I'm just saying in general.
This is a different story. I would get that more.
He didn't speak these words out loud. He was just telling his thoughts.
I know.
It's not like he went to the universe and was like, I'm about to fuck these 3 chicks.
So he didn't think he was going to fuck all of them?
I mean, probably.
There you go.
He wasn't saying that to them.
No, of course not. Of course not. That's not the point I'm making. The point is being like, here's the point. If I was just a dude, all respect to Sam Tripoli, who's a good-looking dude, still.
Is he?
He's all right. He's all right. He's okay. I was trying to be polite. I would be like, he's not bad-looking. He's definitely not bad-looking.
He looks like a character in
He's regular guy. He looks like a regular guy.
Over the Hedge.
I haven't seen Over the Hedge in a while, but here's my point. I don't think I'd have the confidence to truly think that 3 friends all wanted to fuck me. I'd be like, there's a catch here. I would think there was a catch. Yeah, I think you would think that too.
There's a disconnect here where you're not just going to be like he didn't.
Am I being crazy? Am I crazy here?
Why wouldn't he just take them all home just to see if any of them are into him? He didn't.
Okay.
That
know? Makes sense to me. Okay.
He's playing the numbers game.
Right. You started this being like, I'm going to go for some high scores.
That was his quote.
But
he's also a comedian that makes jokes.
Saying that implies fuck all 3 of them.
Yes, but still
Why are you doing PR for him right now?
I'm not. You just don't understand anything about men.
So weird.
It's a numbers game. Just because you think like that doesn't mean you wouldn't also... If he wasn't thinking like that, why wouldn't you take them all 3 back to your place if you don't know which one is into you?
Okay, I agree with that. Yes. But I also feel like as a chick, why would I go back to a guy's apartment if I didn't want to fuck him? Or rob him? Like, you're not saying... He's not hanging out with 3 women platonically back at his apartment. The implication is that they do want to fuck him. If they didn't, they probably would have gone home. They would have split up from each other. That's how I would see it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying...
This is so unfun and uninteresting, and I'm uncool somehow. I don't know how.
All I'm saying is I would try to read all of those things you just stated and be wary of if this is a setup or not, because that's always how I'm thinking. Because
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Money. That was clearly a setup for him. I would not believe that 3 women are just going to fuck me with no strings attached. But I'm on your side.
And they're not as... I'm of the opinion they're not always as clear as that, so...
Okay.
That's why I'm always wary. I just wanted to shoehorn in a story about Sam Tripoli, the TTI.
Yeah, we weren't even... This isn't even what we were going to get to today.
What was this?
This is a bonus.
Spawning from? Where did we start out?
The woman... Me getting scammed. Me being a sucker.
So I will say this, your ex, you talk about how your ex made fun of you that one time
for what?
When you gave the backpack kid at the Port Authority money. and I was defending you. I'm like, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
And I still hold that opinion, but in this case, I'm like, damn.
I gave that guy $20 and he reminded me of Harrington. And that's why I gave him the $20. I remember that. Did I tell that on this show?
Yes.
That's fun. Or was it on the episode that Claire recorded that never aired?
No, you've told this multiple times on the show.
Really?
It's your top 5s.
No, I have. That's not true.
Top 5.
That's absolutely not true. That's super untrue.
It's one of your top 5.
I bet you heard me tell it twice when it happened, and in your head, you're like, she tells that story all the time.
That's my new thing, is just like associating anything with someone's personality, being like, that's one of your top 5s, and they have to figure out what the top 5 is.
I think
the top 5 of what?
That's funny. Like, I assumed most repeated stories because I have a lot of those. Welcome to GaS Digital Now, the GaS Digital wrap-up show. We're 18 minutes into this show, and we are going to break down everything that happened on the network this week. A couple farewells. More farewells than you might think. I'm going to write down the last one before I forget it.
Fartwells.
The very last episode of Wrap was last week. We were both on it.
Remember you.
We were both on it. We have a funny story about coming in for it. TJ Miller was on both the SDR show and High Society Radio.
Let's talk about it. And then on Spookshow was, in Zac Amico's word, top 3 weirdest movies they've ever shown.
It was incredible. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. As well, we were both at Story Wars this week.
Yes.
And yeah, that's all of it. And then TTI, Sam Tripoli was on, but we talked about that already.
And that
was a little bonus for you guys.
Caboose.
That's the whole caboose. What are we starting with? Just pick a random one.
Let's get into... What was the first one you said?
Rap.
Yeah,
you want to start with rap?
Yeah.
All right. That's a rap on rap.
This is a big deal.
Rip rap. It's a rap on rap.
It's a long time coming. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it is a long time coming since that show's been on for, what, 12 years?
Not everything can be The Simpsons.
Not everything can be The Simpsons. That's true. On the landing page, when you go into the back end of uploading to the website, the first page is all rap, and it's like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and it's super weird. It's like Pete Davidson. Like, there's like really old audio only episodes because podcasts used to be audio only then. And they've been going at it a really long time. I have not caught any of the best ofs this week. I embarrassingly have to admit. However, last Friday was the last live episode of Rap, and we were together. It was morning, and I want to listen to it. And we started it. We were planning to come in later that day. We started it, and Mike goes, "We should be in there for it. I want to go in." And I go, "We're not going to catch a lot of it at this point." And he goes, "I don't care if we don't catch all of it. I want to see some of it." And so we hauled ass out of my apartment and drove into the city and listened to it. It was Mike Figs and Ryan Shaner were the guests. Two great choices. As they said, Figs was a shoo-in. It had to be Figs.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a little... remember the time we did that, like, reflecting episode of a sitcom is pretty much what they did.
Featuring Dylan a couple of times. It's funny, the part where I remember distinctly being in the car where someone calls in and mentions the time that Dalton put Dylan in his place and made him cry. And Luis goes on this whole soapbox speech about how that was a moment that signified that the losers had won and the cool guys weren't cool anymore, and it was a victory for all nerds everywhere who all rejoiced.
Dylan had a full-fledged meltdown, and Dalton was calling him a faggot. It was so funny. Because Dalton is like a fat dweeb, right? So, like, and Dylan's like a good-looking, tall fucking... And just the beautiful part about comedy, podcasting, all this stuff is, like, the nerds run this shit. I say this about Skankfest every year. It's like, we are the fucking kids who did not get invited to prom. We're the kids who didn't get invited to the fucking cool kid parties. We're not those kids. You know what I'm saying? We're the fucking dweebs and the weirdos and the dorks and the goth kids, and we're the fucked up ones. That's what GaS Digital, the Legion of Skanks, our fucking umbrella of people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, Tony Hinchcliffe is great. You know, Kill Tony's great. Rogan, all these awesome guys. They're fucking. Those are the cool kids. Those are the kids who fucking were jocks and got the girls and fucked.
Hinchcliffe was a jock?
Yeah,
Hinchcliffe
was like,
Hinchcliffe was a jock.
Are you sure?
He was a jock.
Cool kids?
He was the lawn ornament out front. What the fuck are you
I'm
talking
one of the cool kids. Are you ready for the?
I get all the girls.
Are you ready for the best fucking show of your
I've
life?
got no gag reflex.
Yeah.
But the reality is, like, we're, you know, and that's kind of what we are. So Dalton, in a moment which I think symbolizes that, right, is like the moment where it's like, no, it doesn't fucking matter that you were a cool kid in high school that fucking got girls and got pussy. You have this weird fat freak with fucking fucked up toes that's calling you a faggot, and everyone's on his side, dude. It's like, you know, the bully in the lunchroom would take your lunch tray and throw it in the garbage. Everyone's like, fuck you, dweeb. He flipped that on its head. And, he fucking, you know, he gave an Uno reverse and put Dylan in his goddamn place to the point where Dylan cried.
Dylan, pull it up.
Dylan, pull up the tape.
Dylan, pull it up.
Dylan got so upset that he cried. Dylan left the studio, walked out. He said, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to fight Dalton.
Man.
Everyone's cackling at him. We're all laughing so hard. It was such a beautiful moment for the fucking dweebs and the nerds and the freaks out there.
And I mean, what the fuck is he going on about it? It definitely wasn't that deep. It's definitely that Dylan was annoying and Dalton was trying to be funny because he was also super new.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, we realized that Dylan was in the studio. And I go, that makes more sense. That Lewis was just making eye contact with Dylan and trying to make it a big thing about, like, fuck you or whatever.
Very funny.
I was trying to call in with a story because they had calls from the fans talking about their favorite rap moments. I was trying to call in while we were driving, but they didn't pick up because, you know, the phone lines were slammed.
Phone lines were busy.
They were actually busy. Like, this isn't a bit. They were actually busy. My call was not making it through. However, for a lot of it, they were looking for the clip of Figs doing coke on camera. And I go, I know where that clip is. It's on Reddit. Like, not even a GaS Digital related Reddit. It was like, there was an attempt. And there was an attempt to do coke off camera or whatever.
Really?
Yes.
And it's big?
Yeah. It came up immediately when I Googled it. So as soon as we
Really?
got through the tunnel and got into Manhattan and I was stopped at a light, I found it instantly and sent it to Shannon, hoping that it was still relevant.
Figs is Reddit famous.
Figs is Reddit famous. They don't know who he is. It would be helpful if he was, like, tagged in it somewhere.
Yeah. Or if he was the imitation crab.
Oh, yeah, the imitation crab. Shout out the imitation crab. So I sent it to Shannon, and she pulled it up while we were listening in the car. And Lewis goes, did you find it or did Dom find it? And she goes, no, actually, Natalie found it and sent it to me. And Lewis was like, why isn't Natalie here? Why isn't anyone except for Dom here?
He was mad about that.
What are you doing here? I agree. It was kind of funny that Jorge silently dipped. He went, not only am I not going to be there for the last one, but I'm not going to say why, and I'm going to get new guy to cover it for me. He didn't even ask me. And it didn't occur to me that it was a thing that I wanted until it was happening.
Jorge avoided it like the Jews did on 9/11.
He's like, I don't even want to be near it.
He got the call.
He did. He got the call. That's such a good point. So as soon as I came in and Lewis saw me, he goes, I want Natalie in here instead of Dom. So I had to hop in and cover the last half hour. And it was tough. I haven't done it in a while, but it came back to me well enough. And we all went over. Well, what did you say your favorite moment was?
It was because no one had mentioned it previously. It was the Who Are These podcast war.
Oh,
where
yeah.
they kidnapped the host's girlfriend.
They talked about that for a while. You gave them plenty to go off of. The one that I said was definitely not my favorite or even nearly the most memorable. It was
It's
just
not about that. It's about, yeah.
Thinking about it, yeah. I was trying to think, do you have any more that weren't mentioned that you thought should have been mentioned?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say...
I was going to say Tom Myers and Mark Random on the same episode, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say that in front of Zach.
Because it wasn't a Zach episode, or maybe it was
No,
before
just because
Zach
of
had
all
beef with
the
him.
random.
Oh, the fact that Random is scary right now.
I just want to say it in front of him.
Right.
But I was like, the Tom Myers episode, I mean, is so funny.
Yeah. I don't know why I said yeah, like I've seen it or know what you're talking about.
Cumtown lore.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say both. Like a favorite episode, even though nothing really memorable happened on it, was the one that Dan Soder was on, where Lewis talks about coming in late because he was watching The Revenant.
Oh my god, yeah, eating ass while watching.
While watching The Revenant, I still think about that episode. That one was so funny and so good. I still remember the one where Natalie Cuomo was on and they were like newly dating and they made all of the topics things that Natalie Cuomo would care about, like tattoos and motorcycles and shit, to be like Lewis was trying to like butter her up because she was new and his girlfriend and he was trying to hit on her, so he made all the topics like about that.
I didn't even know that.
That was I also distinctly remember the one where it came out that I was into women, and it was the one with Chloe and Ian. And Ian roasted me because he thinks pansexual is not real.
I thought that was on Bye Guys.
No, that was on Rap, and it happened because it was like my 4th episode. Just kidding. It was probably a few weeks into me being here on the regular. And
On the regs.
Yeah, I walked right into it. Because Lewis came in with this stupid fanny pack that had like Patrick Star pattern on it, like the SpongeBob his shorts pattern. Right, and okay.
Gotta rub it in.
Gotta rub it in.
Gotta rub the bomb in.
I hope you changed that water. Ugh. So I had come in that day and Lewis had a stupid fanny pack with like SpongeBob pastel pattern on it. And I go, I love that because I love things that are gay. And he was like, "Sup, girl? What's up?" Because I had complimented him. And then on the episode, he's like, "Yeah, I could probably fuck Natalie if I wanted to." And they're like, "Are you open to that?" or whatever, however they said it. And I go, "I have a girlfriend." And they were like, "No."
They probably also made a couple of jokes about like, yeah, that's what everyone says to Lewis.
I don't remember. Maybe I'll cut it in here.
Oh, actually, I'm a lesbian.
Maybe I'll cut it in here. I can find it pretty easily.
You
New girl.
You sexually harassed her today, the new girl, Natalie.
I did. But
What'd you do?
She actually, can I tell you what happened?
Yeah.
Please.
She flirted with me.
Whoa.
And then I responded to her.
Why? She said
flirtation.
hello?
Yeah, I responded to her flirtation. No, here's what happened. I walked in and I'm
Are you
currently
going to highlight the fanny pack?
I'm highlighting the fanny pack. Yes, I'm wearing
She speaks.
this fanny pack.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm wearing shorts with no pockets and I need a place for my wallet, my keys, and my cell phone.
Yes.
So I brought this fanny pack in, and Shannon, who regularly stares at my cock, notices that my fanny pack, that I'm wearing this fanny pack, and it's literally
blocking the goods.
It's actually in front of my cock. So she starts complaining. Exactly. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't see your cock in those shorts." She doesn't say it like that. She's like,
I'm going home. What did I even wake up for?
She goes, "You're wearing a fanny pack.
She didn't say it like that. She said hello, but you know what she meant.
Fanny packs are gay." Bah, 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 bah.
So what happened with New Girl?
So New Girl goes, "I really like his fanny pack.
Oh.
Can I get sexy music on, Shannon, for New Girl?" Hell yeah.
New Girl, she'll soon be known ex-employee.
No, she's cool. I can already tell she's cool. She started, she came in, first time she came in, she looked like a goddamn camp counselor. She was wearing fucking
Khakis.
dirty shoes,
Lights
khakis. Yeah, she looked like fucking a fucking character on Dora the Explorer. It made me sick.
Wet hot American pussy.
It wasn't good. No, it wasn't good. She literally looked like she was not interested in ever having sex with anybody. But lately,
Camp on a wanna fuck you.
Lately, she's been dialing it the fuck up.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've been noticing that.
No.
Do you think
And when I think about you, it makes me want to rape.
So, but am I wrong to say that you were flirty with me earlier on today?
I said that I like your SpongeBob fanny pack because I'm 12, and I'm also known to love gay shit like that.
Hell yeah.
I also told Paco that he should carry his dog in a purse earlier today. So
Okay, so all right, so
A woman with
I do
opinions.
very much like your fanny pack. I wasn't lying about
But do you like what's attached to the fanny pack?
that. Not necessarily.
Hold on. Let me just tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Because I know women.
Let's hear Judge Joe Brownskin.
Not necessarily. That is a fucking yes.
All right.
That is a yes. What do you want me to say? She literally would have went, no. Like Shannon, every time you ask her that, she's like, no fucking way. I hate him.
Is New Girl,
Shannon,
is that
I
a
heard
roundabout yes?
Let me say this.
No.
Ah!
Ian, she's like, not necessarily.
Upon
again.
further
She
question,
had to stop herself from saying not necessarily again.
she's new. She doesn't want to outright shame her boss.
Shannon, I had to break down over the course of years to get a not necessarily out of.
You got to build them up and then break them down.
I'm breaking her like a muscle fiber. Okay, I had to break her down so she grows back stronger.
I give her
okay?
6 months.
New girl, she's starting off with not necessarily. New girl starting off at not necessarily. New girl, and I mean this, 2 months away if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to.
Well, no. Are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
Ooh.
With a woman.
With a woman?
With a woman?
Yeah.
No, you're
you
not.
couldn't tell by that butch voice?
She's really a lesbian? I was kidding the whole time.
Yes, to say that exact thing.
Yeah.
This is there was a bit the whole time. I thought I was just making fun of her. Now it's a hate crime. Now I'm hate criming my staff.
I know women.
She actually...
If I was a woman, that's what I would say to Lewis.
You look like one.
No, if I was a woman, I would be like, you're so gross, you actually made me gay.
Anyway, I liked that episode. He's short-circuiting. Cool. Sweet. Great. But yeah, I meant to say on the last episode that I knew
The
Lewis was
cameos
gonna
were very
cry.
funny.
Yeah, the cameos were fantastic.
Crack Amico plugging Rich Voss's dates.
Incredible. Very, very good. I liked Tim Dillon's the best, I think. It made me laugh.
The Schindler's List bit.
Yeah. Yes, I liked it a lot. Brendan's too. Well, I really liked a lot. There were a lot of good ones. His was stacked with jokes, and I liked that a lot. Yeah, those were great, and Shannon was setting me up to end it like The Sopranos, but like the music had already faded out, so I couldn't exactly make like a hard cut the way I wanted to. Yeah, and
But-
then
Well, okay, so what would you say was a better exit? Big J from SDR show or Lewis on rap?
I didn't see Jay's last episode. Of
He
SDR
did
show.
the Cheers ending.
Oh, I've never seen Cheers.
Where like the music starts and he looks back and turns off the light and then leaves.
I actually like that a lot. I would pick that. If we had actually executed rap the way that Shannon wanted to, I would have said rap. But I'm going to say SDR because of that, because that's pretty funny. If you want to move on, I will say that later that day, I saw one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen Zach watch on Spookshow.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So this is also funny because on the way in, so during the episode, Zach says, this was tough for me because I had just, for everyone who doesn't know, we just ended the last episode of Rap. We're pre-taping. And so I had to get out of like this sad moment and just feel like, whew, okay, well, we're watching weird puppet dicks. So Ryan Shaner, welcome.
Yeah, literally. And thank God that it was Shaner, because that made it really easy, I think.
So the movie was called Marquis, and it's practical effects, but they're like puppet heads. But how would you describe it as someone who took film in college?
I would definitely say practical effects, because I was trying to figure it out. It was not all animated, and it was not all stop motion either, because the hands were real. and in real time. The hands were not stop motion either. It seemed to be real actors with prosthetics.
Yeah, so it was like these actors that had like these different animal heads on and were like speaking French through them. And they were very horny.
That's because it was a French movie, Mike.
Well, yeah, I mean, every weird movie is a French film, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I call them.
Weird, gay.
Yeah, that's my term for gay. He's a real French film, you know?
Yeah.
And then Zach was also like, speaking of French films, Zach was like, also, if you noticed, I didn't cry during the last episode, unlike my co-host.
Right.
And he's like, because I had a dad growing up, and he raised me not to cry in front of other adults.
He wasn't. I think you're presenting that in a very different way than Zach meant to. Because the way that you're saying it makes it seem like he's like, yeah, I'm not a bitch.
That's how he said it.
No, not at all. He was like, no, my dad put the fear in God in me that I should never show an emotion around another human being. He definitely wasn't saying it like a badge of honor, the way that you took it to be.
Also, to be completely transparent, this is a pre-tape because I'm on the road. We did the last Luis and Zac show today, and I really knew I had to come out of that funk quick.
Oh, I know.
I had to break the emotions of that. Luis was crying like a bitch.
He was getting teary.
I
He
kept my
was
shit
getting
together.
teary. You
I'm a
did.
fucking man.
You were a fucking rock, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I'm a fucking man. I don't cry about shit like
For
that.
a second, I saw Luis tear it up. I was like, if Zach starts crying, part of me was like, if Zach starts crying, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I was like, part of me was like, things will start crying.
Yeah, no.
And then I'm gonna sit here with 3 crying adult men.
Yeah, no. I had a dad long enough to fucking shame me out of crying in front of people, so I can't express my emotions like that without hating myself.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Luis is very brave today.
Yeah.
Very brave.
I take it as a badge of honor.
I mean, for a guy who cries a lot, that's a crazy thing to say.
Why would you say that?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay, can we cut?
I'm gonna wait till your face goes back to normal before we continue.
Can we cut that out?
I know.
Why would you say that?
He looks like a puppet right now.
Okay, so this is what I was gonna say. As weird as this movie was, I will say, artistically speaking, I did relate to the fact that a lot of times I feel like a puppet to my own dick. Can we talk about this, folks?
Am I right, fellas? This is pretty good. Yes, so it took place during like the French Revolution, I'm pretty sure, and it was in French, and it was filmed in the 90s. Late 80s, early 90s, I want to say.
It was released in 89.
89.
So probably filmed in like 87, 88.
So, yes. I liked it.
You just...
I sat and watched a lot of it. I sat and watched a lot of it because I was waiting for... There were like 3 hours before my next show started, so I just sat in the lounge and watched the movie and listened to them over my shoulder react to it.
To be fair, you love hentai for the plot, so this was just like another form of that for you because they were horny. So you were like, this is going to get me off because there's a story to all this puppet orgy.
Most of the sex was uncomfortable.
That's
was
what you
not
like.
hot.
You love the tension of it.
No, I would not call this movie sexual tension. I would call it weird sex.
Hey,
But
don't yuck my yum.
I saw what they were doing. I thought it was interesting. Visually, it was really cool. The stuff where he talks to his dick and then he like holds the foreskin over the dick's face so that it won't talk anymore.
Why can't we do that? Men should be able to do that.
You're about to say, why can't I do that? And then you remember that you don't have one.
I don't have a dick.
That's not what I meant. You probably can do that if you have a foreskin.
There should be pasties for men's urethras.
Oh no. Oh no.
Or is that just a condom?
Yes, there you go. Well, yes. I liked it. I thought it was super weird. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. Zach said in the episode that he goes, even if they weren't animals, the movie would still be the same. Like he was like, why did they make it animals? Because it doesn't affect the plot at all.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with Frank. I would love to get Zach's take on it. It reminded me a little bit of a movie I had to watch for college about Karen Carpenter that was filmed with Barbies, and it was like a statement about anorexia or whatever. And it was significant that it was Barbies, even though it seemed weird at first. Like, I wonder if the people making this movie were like, no, the animals are a statement about the bourgeoisie or whatever, or if it was just somebody's weird kink to watch the animals fuck each other. There was an orgy. There was a whole ass orgy.
Yeah.
With a lady on a swing who's not participating, and she's just swinging while other people are like laying on top of each other.
That's what you would do.
Yeah, probably.
You just kind of swing and watch.
That's all I had on that, unless you had more on it.
Yeah, it feels like all they did was like Ocean's 11 Jim Henson studio, and then we're just like, let's make a movie.
That's funny. Except they were human size.
True. My other thought is it would be interesting because, like, there's always like an animated version of TV shows
right.
or like things. I want to see puppet versions of things like the Harry Potter Puppet Pals. Like,
yeah.
I think there should be more puppet renditions of things. Like there's animated series, there should be puppet
series. Like a puppet series of the weekly meeting at GaS Digital.
Well, that is already a puppet show.
True. Great point.
Because the strings are all being pulled by Red Bar.
Can you imagine if that was true? We'd have more money.
Saying his name so we can get 2 extra views.
So you can put him in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
What do you want to move on to next? Why are you winding your watch?
But like, okay, think about how cool it would be if Pokemon was also puppets.
I agree with that.
That all had an orgy.
You lost me there.
On a swing.
You should.
Mewtwo getting fucked by Jigglypuff.
Now you're gonna put them in the thumbnail too.
I'm not Christos.
Let's move on. What show do you want to do next?
This episode's gone off.
This episode sucks.
What?
I'm awful.
I'm having a good time.
I've been awful this whole time.
Show off the waist.
They can see it.
Okay.
Do you guys remember that time that I wore this shirt and Mike got mad at me a couple of years ago? No, because we cut that out.
Now I get mad if you waste my time.
Who's wasting whose time here? Be so for real.
Good one.
I don't get it. I didn't make a pun.
You did.
What was it?
It was at my expense. You made a remark at my expense.
I made a comment about how you're late and you wasted my time a lot.
And now you're wet for that.
I am wet for that. Deserved. Do you want to talk about HSR or SDR?
HSR. Tell me what happened, as if I've never seen it, because I haven't.
So here's what happened. I covered HSR this week for Harrington, and TJ Miller was on, and the Chris's were on for High Society Radio.
Yeah, even though it's live on 8 p.m.
It's live right now. It's going to be live in half an hour. TJ brought in pizza. And I said that if you're familiar with that experiment where they put a kid in a room with one cookie and they say, or if they wait 10 minutes and don't eat it, they'll get a second cookie, and half the kids just eat it anyway. I was the kid with the cookie looking at the pizza on the table, knowing that I would get more later, but wishing I could eat it right now. It was incredible. Nuovo York was the name of the place. Shout out to them. They talked about Bitcoin, meme coins. They talked about analog porn. TJ was very interested in why they were called High Society Radio. And did you know that it was based on a porn magazine?
Yeah, so this is excellent pizza. I wanted to bring it to you guys because I had heard the name of the show. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just marijuana.
That's what everyone thinks.
Yeah,
we
but
have
we
terrible
actually,
brand.
we actually named it after the pornography magazine.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love porn?
665 previous episodes before that, and we didn't know where it came from.
I thought it was called Hop Saving Radio. That's what it stood for. HSR.
Like beer? Hops?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you meant?
Boner content.
And they also talked about TJ's mini Eagles documentary.
Go Birds.
Go Birds, yeah. And they talked about how in the fact that in the documentary it was the previous Eagles Super Bowl, and he spends the whole time talking about how they're going to win, and then they didn't win in whatever previous one it was.
Oh, yeah, last year.
Yeah. And so...
Or 2 years ago.
Yeah. You would know better than me.
I don't remember. It all runs together.
So they remarked on that and how it was a good documentary.
Oh, no, I remember clearly now because I was screamed at by all of my friends in the Philadelphia comedy scene. Now I remember.
Why? Wait, for what?
2022.
Why were you yelled at?
At the Super Bowl party, the infamous Super Bowl party.
But why did they... Oh, they roasted you for being too much.
The Eagles, that's when the Eagles lost, so they were all angry because they're Philadelphians.
Right.
And they had to take it out on someone, and that was me.
Yeah.
At
That
Drew
being
Montana's
said,
house.
I would say the thing that we can most... They talked a lot about old shock porn from the internet, old era of internet. And they said, rank the vileness. I wrote down rank the vileness in my notes, so I think Stanley must have said those exact words. But then TJ also said, fuck, marry, kill of Lemon Party, Goatsy, and Tub Girl. And I had to Google what two of those things are.
We were trying to get, the Studio Ghibli ChatGPT filter.
Yes.
We're trying to get it to make us a goatsy, and it wouldn't.
It wouldn't do Goatsy, it wouldn't do Lemon Party, it wouldn't do Tub Girl. I mean, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I don't wish I knew what each of those three things meant. That's something I'm never going to wish.
Rank the
Yeah, let's go for
the
it.
vileness of all those three things. No, I'm not, this is not my rankings. I'm just giving
Goatsy, Lemon Party 2, and...
No. That's not my ranking. I'm just giving it to you again.
Lil
and
Baby.
Tub Girl.
F, marry, kill. I'll take Tub Girl over all three.
I'm marrying Lemon Party.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I'm poly.
Well, they're going to die soon, and, they probably have life insurance.
Oh, God, it's sad if they're dead. What's the most vile?
I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to
Tub
live
Girl's a
with
girl.
Tub Girl? I'd like to live with her or near her.
Be near her, okay.
Yeah, it could be on the same block. Whatever. I'm not trying to sit here and shoehorn Tubby into a goddamn apartment decision.
Good.
But yeah, I feel like Tub Girl and I could. I don't know. I think Tub Girl and I are kind of going. What are we gonna watch the series again? And then we both turn to each other at the same time and go, yes, that's it. And
We're
then
gonna
we go
binge
and
it.
we watch. Yeah, who cares? I don't care. And the great thing about Tub Girl is when you go, what are we gonna order Chinese food again? What do you think Tub Girl says?
Yeah.
The answer is
A very quiet yes.
yes.
Do you know what all of those things are? I did not. I had to Google two of them.
I've never seen any of them. I've only seen Two Girls, One Cup.
Tub Girl is similar to that, except there was no glass involved. Oh, I'm thinking of One Guy, One
Jar.
There was no glass involved in Two Girls, One Cup. This was a girl has an enema over her own face in a tub.
What's an enema?
It's like a thing that cleans your asshole. So you squeeze a bunch of liquid into your asshole, and then what's in there comes out of you. And then Goatsy is a shock site with a bunch of stuff on it, but the distinct image is a guy holding his asshole open with a flash on it. And then as
real Ace Ventura.
Yes.
You should be like, no. Yeah, that's how you should sell it. Be like, it's like in Ace Ventura when he talks with his butt, and then you send it to the person. They're like, it's nothing like that at all.
And then we all know Lemon Party is a bunch of old guys having just a grand old time. So yeah, rank the vileness. I think I ranked them just now in the order that I listed them from most to least vile, in my opinion.
Well, the difference with Goatsy and Lemon Party is, I'm assuming with Lemon Party, you're not exactly seeing that close up of an asshole shot.
Right.
You're just
I've never
kind
been
of-
to Lemon Party, but I also would assume that. You might want to tell your mom not to listen to this one.
Your mom.
My mom doesn't listen to this show.
But just by the numbers, you are seeing more male genitalia than maybe is preferred.
Yeah.
Like, inherently, the Goatsy one isn't gay. That's just male anatomy.
Yes. And it's a still image. I would probably perhaps even put it at the bottom because of that. It's just a picture.
I agree.
I
agree with your ranking of vileness. Fuck, marry, kill, though.
I don't think I could. I don't think I'll answer that. I'll let you answer that one.
I'll fuck Lemon Party. Marry Goatsy. Nope. Marry Tub Girl and kill Goatsy.
Why? Because Tub Girl is a woman?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah? It was very good. He was also asking them the first time that you thought about sex. Like, how old were you? At the very end, he was asking them each different things about, like, the origin of the name of HSR. And I think 6th grade. I think before that it was like a loose concept, but like not a solid enough concept to where I had any feelings about it. And then 6th grade I was like, oh no, this is a thing and it's going to ruin my life now that I know about it. I can't unknow it.
It ruined your life knowing what sex was?
No, at the time I was just like, oh, now I don't just have a crush on a boy because he's cute. I'm like, oh, he has a dick under there, and that knowing that is gonna ruin my day. Not in a bad way, just in like a now I'm distracted kind of way.
Damn.
In a bad way, I didn't want to think about it. I wanted to not think about
drunk
it. I wanted to
school.
I wanted to not think about it. It like embarrassed me to know. It was distracting to know, yeah. That's real. I was like kind of behind.
That's so funny.
It's funny, right?
Just a parent-teacher conference and being like, so Natalie has not been paying attention in class, and her theory is she keeps staring at my dick.
No, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. You're missing the point. You're thinking with dude brain here where you're like, haha, tits, I'm distracted because I can't stop thinking about tits. For me, it was kind of like I'd be minding my own business and then I would remember, and in my head I'd be like, la, 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 I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. It was like difficult. It was not difficult, but I didn't enjoy knowing. Yeah, I think I was 12.
I don't remember the exact age, but it was definitely before... It was definitely in middle school.
Yeah.
And not in elementary.
So later than me. You were about to... Yeah. And then I think he asked Stanley some other question, and I don't remember what it is.
But I don't think.
That's fine. We can move on. I kind of do want to move on to SDR because Shannon sent me the quiz.
Oh, well, real quick. Is there ever a meme coin you would invest in? Less for making money off it but more just for like...
The lulz.
Yeah. The sake of doing it. Or is there a celebrity or YouTuber that if they announced that they were making a coin, you would invest in it?
You're asking the wrong person.
What? Not even your fucking...
I don't
Epic
trust...
Mealtimes guy or whoever.
Oh, you're
like.
speaking of yourself. Yeah, you like Epic Mealtimes.
Who the fuck do you like? The chef or something?
No, I don't trust any celebrity, even a micro celebrity.
What about Shane Dawson?
No, God, no. Jesus Christ. I don't know how anyone still trusts Shane Dawson. He's a crazy person. He has 2 children.
I thought he was gay.
He adopted 2 children with his husband. Yes.
What about Dave Smith?
No.
What?
I trust Dave Smith way more than I trust any micro celebrity I know on YouTube. Actually, maybe Dave Smith, because I feel like I trust him to make sound financial decisions.
If he dropped Pavecoin tomorrow,
Pavecoin is very funny.
You wouldn't invest.
Wouldn't that
in it?
be insider trading? Because he would just tell me when he's gonna rug pull it. I would be involved in insider trading if Dave had a meme coin.
Nice try, Pelosi. You're not supposed to actually give that part away.
Oh. Do you have anyone that you would trust a meme coin from?
Ooh.
Can I demonstrate how little I know about stuff like that?
Okay.
Today I texted my friend's group chat and I go, apologies if this is a stupid question. If the stock market is down right now, does that mean that it's a good time to buy stocks because the prices are lower?
Yes and no.
That's what I thought.
It depends on what you're investing in. Me, I only invest in rare fish futures.
Is that an inside joke I don't know, or did you just make that up?
You should invest in futures.
Rare fish futures?
Or just futures in general.
I don't know what that is.
Because the life is a present. Life, the present is
a gift. Can we move on to SDR? Can you introduce the concept of SDR this week? What was that?
It's the manly contest.
Very good. Very good, Mike. He's so pale. The funny thing is he really does have muscles under there, but he could not look less like it right now. Your biceps are looking good lately. Tummy also looks bad. In the right lighting, he has ab definition, but now he just looks like a fish that's been belly up brought to the surface.
So they had a feat of testosterone.
Yes.
On the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll show, which is now known as the Sometimes Does Raunchy show.
Did you come up with that on the spot?
And so some of them included hot sauce drinking, hot sauce tasting, Malort drinking,
ice bath plunging,
and arm wrestling.
Yes.
And monster trucking. No, but
metaphorical monster trucking. The chat was the most women I've ever seen all at once in the GaS chat.
Really?
And they really wanted to know the dick size ranking. And they even asked me, they're like, Nat, give us a dick size ranking of the four of them. And I go, how the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Because you're Ralph's niece.
That makes it even less likely. If that was true, even less of a chance that I would know.
For not knowing.
Do you know? Do you know?
TJ 6, but that's because he's tall. Chris 5, Ralph 4, and Dove also 6.
That's probably not true. But it is answers. I don't even want to speculate about it. They were very horny in the chat, and they really wanted to know everyone's.
Ooh, horny women in the chat.
Very
Everyone,
rare.
sign up to gasdigital.com to get horny women in the chat.
Horny women in your area.
Yeah. There's MILFs in your racist live chat.
There are MILFs in your racist live chat. Which challenge do you think you'd be the best at?
Malort, I would fail the most.
Okay. How about that? Yeah, put them in ranking of what you do best at to worst at.
I want to say I would do good at the hot sauce, but I've lost my touch.
You dumped a lot of that sauce on a slice of pizza once and got through most of it before you started to suffer. I think that's really impressive.
I think
Everyone warned him not to, and he went, whatever, it's hot sauce, and dumped way too much of it on a slice of pizza. And then by the crust, he was like, yeah, that's really hot. Yeah, that's pretty hot.
But I think to be able to be good at that, you have to hate it and be competitively good at it. Like, you have to have tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I enjoy spice, but once I'm not tolerant anymore, it's...
You plummet.
Yeah, I can't maintain that,
Composure.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. But I think that if I put my hand in cold water, I would just let it go numb and just kind of thug it out.
Okay, so I'm going to say order from best at to worst at. I'm going ice water, Malort, hot sauce, arm wrestling. I'm notoriously bad at arm wrestling even against other women.
Ralph cheated.
You think Ralph cheated? Why, he used his other arm for
Ralph
leverage?
cheated. He used his entire body. We'll put the video in right here.
The ice bucket thing, you've seen me do. I do that all the time. When I'm drying my nails, I stick my hands in ice water to make it dry faster. You've seen me do that before. I'm like trained for that. And I think I would do really well at that.
Cold as ice, willing to sacrifice our love.
Remind me who that is?
Take a guess.
It's the group that you're into right now.
Maybe.
Guess. And then I think...
Take a guess at one classic rock band.
Nebraska.
Huh?
I'm kidding.
That's Nirvana if they were also Kansas.
Kansas. No, it was not America. It was Kansas. Chicago.
No.
Kansas.
Nope. It is a one-word band.
I know the answer. I'm just put under pressure and it's hot in here. I'm losing my brain cells. This is like when I couldn't come up with Mike Vecchione's name on GaS games. Who is it?
The Jukebox Heroes themselves.
Yes, I know. I know that.
Foreigner.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. I'm cutting all that too.
For getting it wrong. They can't even see him spraying her.
No, I got the hit. The hit was in the shot.
I know, but they should see that it's happening.
I think I'd be all right at Malort. I think I'm pretty good at doing shots, even if they're bad. I can hold my own pretty well. Hot sauce, especially to bomb, I would have a hard time with. And arm wrestling, I'm notoriously bad at.
The bomb is the only hot one, right? Everyone says that?
You're saying everyone says that because Shane Gillis just said that. But yes.
Zach has also said that.
They've just said that one sucks. Zach thinks that for the interviews they water down some of them.
But he also says that the bomb is the only, like, he bought them.
Yeah.
He's bought the...
I think the only hot one is so subjective because they are all hot, obviously. They're hot sauce. But, like, that's the only one that people really struggle with. Well, they also have the Last Dab, which is, like, supposed to be the big one. Anyway, I'm going to pick out... They also did the manliest man quiz. And I'm only going to ask you the ones that I like. We're not going to keep score. I just wanted to ask a couple choice
Okay, but you
questions.
have the right to spray me if I'm wrong. Even if there's not a right or a wrong answer, you can determine whether my answer was correct or not.
Like if you're answering honestly?
Just based off of your opinion.
Vibes. Okay.
If you think I answered correctly or not.
Okay, which of these movies are you most likely to watch? A Star Wars movie, a Marvel movie, Fight Club, or Mamma Mia? All awful choices. Just kidding. Fight Club's one of my favorite movies, so that's my answer.
If I'm locked in a room?
No, if you had to watch one of those movies this afternoon, what would you pick? You're not locked in a room. No one's making you do anything. It's just which are you most likely to watch.
As much as I want to say Fight Club, I think my heart is telling me Star Wars.
That's fine. I'll allow it. I'm not going to spray you. It's fine. I don't like Star Wars.
Ralph
but I
said
respect
Marvel.
it.
Can we talk about this?
Sure, we can talk about this.
Is it because he's the size of the Hulk
That's funny. I hate...
and as rich as Iron Man?
Very good. I hate Star Wars. I've never once been interested in anything regarding Star Wars. And Marvel, I could take or leave.
Yeah.
Fight Club is one of my favorite movies, and I've never seen Mamma Mia, but I'm not opposed to it. Those are my real answers.
What is Mamma Mia?
It's ABBA music, but it's got Amanda Seyfried and Meryl Streep in it, and it's a rom-com.
Ew.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't remember if it's actually a musical or if it just has ABBA music in it. I think it's a musical. I've never seen it.
Sounds like some real French film.
Yeah, women stuff. What items belonging to your female significant other would you be most likely to use if you didn't have your own? And I would love to know your actual opinion here. Her lavender scented deodorant, her floral shampoo, her toothbrush, or her underwear?
Toothbrush because I'm nasty. But I will say, in the spirit of the conversation, I have used my sister's shampoo before, and I've gotten compliments from women on it.
That actually makes sense to me. That seems like sort of like how when men have feminine tattoos, it's to get compliments from women. Dylan, having feminine scented hair does seem like a thing that women would be into.
Well, because you want your body to smell manly, but like once a woman's up close enough to be like, "Oh, you smell like apples," like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a great point. What women were sniffing your hair?
This is at church.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Girls in youth group. This is at spicy youth group time where a sniff from the hair is.
That was all you were getting.
That's basically second base.
Yeah, that was all you were getting. I think that it's weird to use someone else's toothbrush. I said that in the hall.
Obviously, it's disgusting.
That's the most manly points.
I'm a freak bull.
That has the most points on this quiz.
Really?
Yes.
What is this fucking how Black Air Force One energy
Kind
are
of. I don't think even if we've made out, I can't imagine you, for example, I can't imagine using your toothbrush.
I've used my finger before.
I would sooner squeeze some toothpaste on my finger and rub it against my teeth.
Yeah, but usually if I'm in the bathroom, I'm fingering my own ass, so
that's negative
that.
8. That's negative 9,000 points.
You could have sprayed me for that.
I know, I liked it. Nope. You don't get to pick. You better not. You better not. I hate you so much. I'm not fucking you later.
What?
I'm not fucking you later. If you do that, we're not having sex later.
Worth it.
We're not fucking you later. You can sleep on the couch.
What? I'm not Christina.
After a woman goes down on you, which of these are you most likely to do? Go down on her, kiss her on the mouth, fall asleep, pay her.
Wait, what? What was the question?
After a woman goes down on you, which of these are you most likely to do? Go down on her, kiss her on the mouth, fall asleep, or pay her?
Fall asleep.
That's not true.
Because I ate her out first, dog. Let's
Fair
go.
enough. So then
all my brothers in the building say, "What's up? What's up?
So
what's
then,
up? What's up?"
We know what the real answer is, and it's kiss her on the mouth.
What?
Which is 2 points.
No, it's fuck her right in the pussy.
Slightly more points than pay her. Fewer points than fall asleep and eat her out.
I've never done. Why are you just throwing my business out on the air?
I like that it's your business, but you've also never done it.
I never kissed you on the mouth.
Ever in your whole life?
No. That's never happened. So why would you put my business on the air?
I don't remember if they asked this. I don't remember hearing answers
That's
to
a
this
snitch.
question. How do you usually drink alcohol? And this will be the last one that we do here. From a glass, with a straw, from a bottle, or from a keg?
How do I drink my what? Beer?
Alcohol. Beer.
From a glass or what?
A bottle with a straw or from a keg. It says alcohol because who would drink beer with a straw? But
Who would drink vodka from a keg?
what's your answer?
It depends on the drink.
Well, straw is 0, bottle is 3, keg is 4, and glass is 2 points.
I'm going to go glass just because there is something nice about having a frothy beer
In a glass.
I'm
going to go
and
bottle,
just
I
licking the
think.
foam up like I'm Justin Silver after a night with a woman.
Very good.
Or a Jack and Coke in a glass. Also.
I'm going to go bottle because in the context which I am drinking a beer and someone hands me a bottle and asks if I want a glass, I usually say no.
And you can split the G.
And then you split the G in a glass, not a can.
That's what I was saying for the glass.
That's
But
true.
what are you saying for the bottle?
I usually ask for no bottle if it's a context with usually ask for no glass if it's in a bottle.
Like a can? Or are you thinking like a Modelo?
A glass bottle of beer. If someone gives me a beer that comes in a glass bottle and asks if I want a glass at a bar, I usually say no. I'd rather hold the bottle.
Yeah.
I feel safer with it that way. I feel like
Well-
less likely to spill it that way.
And as a woman, less likely to get drugged. See, I'm always
It's a good
thinking
point.
about these
That's
things.
a good point. I never think of that. I thought you meant that I
I'm
could
always
smash it and use it as a
thinking
weapon.
about danger.
You are always
I'm like
thinking
the
about
I'm like
danger.
the Allstate guy.
Oh, you're right. I'm danger. We can touch very briefly on Story Wars this week. We were both there. We caught the very tail end of it. It was a great episode.
Now,
It was super
okay,
funny.
So granted, I was a little bit harsh on Drew Montana about how the end of the game went. But I
Why?
was not there for the beginning of the game where he said that he had studied previous episodes of Story Wars
So you just thought he was really lucky?
to understand Big
skill.
J and Lewis's tells.
Very often when Jay puts the first vote out, it is Jay. I will say
Very
that.
often. What are the stats on that?
I watched 2 episodes earlier, and it happens often, dude, and I thought it was you already. I'm going Jay.
So what did you think was the case?
So I was kind of jerking his chain, metaphorically. Ayo, pause. Because I was like, Naeem cheated for you by shouting things out at the end. It was, you got to put an asterisk next to your title because Naeem helped you. But I'm going to...
Naeem was shouting things that weren't correct.
That's true. And I will take that away because I didn't realize how dedicated he was to the game, and I give him his flowers now. Ayo, pause.
Ayo, pause.
For the
Naeem
flowers.
also was only there for like the last 3 rounds. He was upstairs at Drip for most of it.
That's true. And then Drew goes, he thinks he's at a movie theater right now.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
By far, largest
crazy.
winning gap going into the final 2 stories.
Largest gap.
I mean, can I tell you something, Drew?
Naeem just woke up for that. That was
Let me tell you
crazy.
something. Drew's going to leave here and start telling everybody, he goes, yo, if you watch 1 or 2 episodes, that game is super easy to win.
As Drew.
It's me. Go ahead.
Shut up, Naeem, you lying motherfucker.
Naeem, is Drew's mom a gunslinging son of a bitch?
Yes, he shoots a lot of people.
Oh, no. We didn't have cable when I was 17.
Naeem's acting like he's at the movies right now. This is nuts.
Naeem's living it. The do-rag, everybody. A do-rag and the deer tag.
Yeah, it's funny. The first time Naeem did that, it was very funny. And then he did it every round, and I could tell that Lewis was a little bit actually mad. And Lewis was like, can someone kick Naeem out of here?
He's like, you're a comic. You know you're not supposed to do this.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I like the fact that Drew almost had a perfect game.
Yes.
But he did win regardless.
Yes.
And that was very cool. I love when the guests win.
It was by such a wide margin, they couldn't even play Giant Killer.
Yes. Only the real Story Wars heads will know.
Yo, shout out all of our readers, our warriors.
Warriors.
Our bookworms.
Bookworms is cute.
That's what they're going for, cute.
Yes. I'll give them cute, and they can suck my dick if they don't like it.
Oh. I thought it was great, the chemistry between Rachel and Keith.
Yes.
Who are friends.
Good friends. It's so funny. I came in the middle of a really long Keith story that I didn't catch the beginning of.
Yeah, I thought that was also funny where there was a part where they were in between rounds. They were like, Keith deserves this. He's a piece of shit. Here's my story about Keith being a dick to me. And then the next story was like, I got arrested for yelling outside, like out of a window. And they were like, oh yeah, well, I mean, obviously we just told all these stories. It's definitely Keith. And
hilarious. I will say I did love the way everyone ganged up on him for my mom shot someone in a card game story was pretty funny.
We can talk about this though. Here's a little bit of studio lore. G Mike, who just speaking of leaving things, recently left Godfrey. to produce Story Wars. Was in Barcelona last week, came back to produce Godfrey.
Really?
He was here on Tuesday night for Godfrey.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was so funny. So he comes in, and one of the first things he says is he goes and looks at the board and sees John, and he's like, when I was employee of the month, you guys like put the N-word on my forehead, and you did nothing. You put big PP next to John.
Dylan drew that.
I know, but he was like, big PP is what he gets.
Yeah.
I got a swastika on my stomach, and he gets big
Hey,
PP.
it reflects you as a person. It's like the picture of Dorian Gray. The older you get in real life, the worse your image looks on the board, okay? John has a pure soul and a kind heart, and he has big PP next to his name on the board. That's how it works.
I was making, so we're referencing the Employee of the Month whiteboard that we do every month. The Employee of the Month is selected.
Usually John, the cartoonist, draws a picture of the person who's the Employee of the Month.
But he was selected this month. So who?
Dylan drew him.
Oh.
And it was just this goofy looking like smiley face. It kind of looks like him. There's a lot of details that are very John, but it says like he wrote big PP next to it. And someone changed it to small PP.
That was G Mike.
Yeah.
He was like, no, we're changing this to small PP. Dude, it looks like Mr. Mackey from South Park.
I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of it here.
But yeah, so G Mike was in, and it was a good catching up.
I like it.
And then I overheard what was the precursor to the end of the collaboration between Insane Clown Posse's Bruce Brothers podcast
and GasDigitalNetwork.com.
Gas Digital, because Frank was like, "There's too many people." No, I'm not even gonna get into it.
It's fine.
I watch Frank try to hot potato some of the Bruce Brothers problems onto G Mike, and him go, nope.
That's funny. So yeah, Bruce Brothers is leaving the network. They had basically a disagreement with the higher ups here about like where it was gonna air and like what they wanted their workflow to be of like streaming to the site, stuff like that, and they decided that they no longer wanted to work together. So I asked Frank if it was the shortest.
We decided to save Painted Face.
Very good. I liked it. No, I liked it.
Should I show up
No.
looking like I peed myself?
No, small pee-pee, no. I was going to say something funny and you messed me up.
I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be funny to show up to a party looking like I wet my pants.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I asked Frank if it was the longest pre-production to shortest runtime on the network juxtaposition of any show that's ever been on the network, and he said yes.
Even more than the one where the guy came in to threaten Ralph.
How long? What show was that? And how long?
Which
ago
one was that one?
I don't remember. I don't know anything that happened before my tenure here.
Oh.
Was that since I worked here?
No.
Oh, then I don't know. Either way, long intro time, short 2 episodes on the network.
Well, I'm glad I learned about the secret of manifesting before they left.
That's true. I'm glad I learned about nanotechnology before they left. I think this has been Gas Digital Now, the Gas Digital wrap-up show.
We can't end on that.
What do you want to end on? Did anything fun happen at the network this week? I should have ended with my homeless lady story.
When I was when TJ Miller came in yesterday, I told him about my rock climbing story, and I was super excited. Like I had planned to tell him, because I'm like, he's gonna care about this.
He's so weird.
He's from Denver. They probably rock climb out there.
Sure.
So for those out there, I went to a rock climbing gym with Nat this weekend.
Yeah, I have a couple. Yeah, we didn't talk about our weekend at all, so we can end on this. 2 good friends of mine that I mention often are members of a rock climbing gym now, and they keep wanting to use their guest passes on new people to get them into rock climbing.
And it was erotic.
Was it erotic to you?
Erotic.
I mean, your dick was definitely visible in the harness, for sure.
Really?
No, it was just that it was tightly squeezed around your junk.
Oh.
You weren't the only one.
You said that with way too much of a smile. You were looking at men's. You were embarrassed again at the rock climbing gym. No, I wasn't embarrassed.
Yours was the only one that I was looking at because it was noticeable to me.
You were embarrassed. You were like, I can't think about sex while I'm at the rock climbing gym.
I'm 27 years old. I can absolutely think about your dick when I'm having sex with.
I'm distracted on the climb.
I'm cutting all of this. We went rock climbing. It was really fun. It was difficult, but in a way where I can see easily getting better at it. And we both had a moment when we were up there where we both went, oh my God, I'm so high off the ground right now. I have to get down. And Amanda was like, just let go with your hands, like trust exercise, like to show you how safe you are, take both your hands off. And we both were like, no, I don't want to let go.
It's so scary.
It's so scary up there.
It's like Neo in the Matrix when he like pops out of the fucking the pod.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
What were you thinking of?
The part where he dodges the bullets.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a better analogy. I don't know why I chose it. It's like in Fight Club, you know, when they do random acts of chaos. It doesn't have to do with the rest of the movie.
It's a little like that. So it was really fun being up there. I liked the bouldering, which is the part where you are not. It's a lot closer to the ground, but you're not harnessed in at all. Dan showed me a way to change my brain to wrap my mind around how to get up there, and it changed how and it was at the very end. I was like, I wish I knew this earlier, because it like completely changes now how I.
What was it?
He's like, well, here's the way that it's like you're looking at the bouldering wall where it's like easy. It's dark green. It's for easy, like people who are new to it. And he goes, the shape of the rocks shows you how you can optimally get up there. So if it's hooked on this side, it means that you should lean your body this way. But if the hook is on the other side, it means that you should lean your body that way.
Oh.
It was so interesting. It changed completely how I saw the wall.
I thought it was random.
No, it's very planned.
I thought they were just throwing shit up there to fuck with you.
No. Then how would some be easier than others?
No, I know. I just thought the more random it was, the harder it would be. I didn't know it was like...
No, there's like specific moves that you... I mean, he even said it. He was like, you don't have to get up that way. There are other ways to get up, but you can kind of see intuitively like what's the optimal way to get up without using so much of your energy based on how it's shaped. I thought that was really interesting. Mike said it changed his perspective on life.
I said that to TJ, and he was just like, "Oh, cool. I don't get it." Not in those exact words,
TJ's such a weird guy because sometimes you'll have like a moment with him where he feels like a real person, and sometimes he'll just say the weirdest shit on the planet, and you're like, what's in there?
So I said to him, I was like, it felt like I feel like it's a metaphor for life, and he's like, "Oh yeah, how?" And I was like, "Well, like sometimes you feel like you're up so high that you don't feel like you have a choice. You just have to keep going. You sometimes you lose your footing, but as long as you trust yourself, you'll be able to find it again. And then you have to keep pushing yourself up to be able to get to where you want to be, which is the top."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I think you should do like real life rock climbing sometime. I think you'd have a lot of fun." And I'm like,
That's not that crazy. That's
I'm like,
that's at least a little bit
I just
nicer.
poured my heart out.
It's at least a little nice. Was he trying to leave?
It was right before HSR, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe his thoughts were elsewhere.
Chris.
That's how Chris buzzes when he comes in.
Temple.
Any others? John Hazard.
Wait. Derek.
Derek's pretty good. John always says his full
Akeem.
name. Akeem's good. Godfrey.
That was racist. That was actually
that's how he says it.
offensive.
He does. Why?
When I heard it, she went ooga booga.
No, it was sophisticated Godfrey voice where he's like, "I'm Godfrey." It's like the way that Godfrey talks about where his name came from.
This is how I would do it. "Well, hello, my name is Godfrey. This is my white person voice."
Does he do it like that? Or did you just throw me under the bus for a made-up reason?
Who's someone else we could do? My favorite of all time was it's Lemaire.
It's Lemaire? Wait, who did I... It was so... There was once, I think it was Corinne, where instead of me going, "Who is it?" I just go, "Hello?" And she goes, "Corinne?" That was a long time ago when I was doing Without a Country on a regular basis.
Wait, let's end on this. What you said about on the whiteboard out. Speaking of whiteboards, what you said about Lemaire on the whiteboard here.
Oh yeah. It's coming up in a couple months.
My man's got like a month and a half.
You think he'll do it?
Bro's got a month and a half.
There, if you didn't catch it on the last episode of Rap this week, 2 years ago on Juneteenth, they were talking about Livy Dunn, and Lemaire was like, "Yeah, I could fuck her. I could fuck her in 2 years. Give me 2 years, I could fuck her." And so we wrote that day, "Lemaire fucks Livy Dunn by Juneteenth 2025. And it's fast approaching. It is fast approaching.
I believe in you, King.
It's just weird how long I've been working here when you think about stuff like that, you know?
You know whose fat season it is. We've seen the clips.
It's like how it said, what's his name is banned forever. It was like my 3rd month here. That guy that hasn't been here in literal years.
Katie Boyle?
Guy?
There was a period of time where Katie Boyle was late.
No, this is literally a guy that no one's heard of.
Oh.
Since.
Who? Chris Tinkle?
No. It's similar, though. He had like a French name. He was Canadian. He's a Canadian, bald Canadian guy.
Oh.
And he was, it was talking about the Loud Boys roasting Lewis and Dalton roasting Lewis. You remember this? I should have mentioned that on the last episode of Rap. That's way more significant. Oh shit. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that where they were playing a clip of the Loud Boys where Dalton was like, "Nah, fuck Louis J. Gomez." And Louis was so mad about it and he rants about it for 10 minutes and then Shannon comes on and goes, "That's a clip from 2 years ago before you guys had met each other." And Louis was like, "Guess I'll just go fuck myself." However, the guy who was a guest on the show, please say it in the chat, please. You got it. You have it.
I do remember that.
He was defending the Loud Boys, and so then afterward, Lewis goes, "No, you're banned for a year."
Damn.
And it said that on the thing forever. Do it. Put me out of my fucking misery. Put me out of my fucking
This
misery.
has been Gas Digital Now, the Gas Digital wrap-up show. Subscribe to gasdigital.com and use code NOW at sign up to get a big discount on your membership. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Gas Digital Now. Follow the Gas Digital accounts at Gas Digital on Instagram and Twitter. Give us a like and a follow.
Follow me and Adelaide Chico Edits on Instagram. Follow Mike at That Blind Mike on Instagram. Watch my other show, That's Hot with Sabrina Piper. It's our 100th episode this week. Subscribe to Gas Now on YouTube. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll do a no-holds-barred AMA. Anything you ask us, we won't avoid any question.
Naked.
Underneath.
Half naked, as in
From the table down.
one half of this show will be naked, and you can
that
pick which one. No.
Yeah, follow us at follow Gas Digital Now on wherever you get your audio podcasts as well. We're trying to build up that base as well. Thanks.
Yay! Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye. So wet. Everything here is so wet.
That's what she said.
In a bad way. I hate you. I'm extra not fucking you later.
What?
I'm not fucking you later because you poured my iced tea on your head.
That was a bit.
Yeah, but I was serious.
No.
I was serious.